Hi, this is Mark with Ease Investing. Today, we're going to talk about calculating the intrinsic and extrinsic value of a stock option when you have specifically sold a put. This is very important for you to know because this allows you to see how likely or not the person on the other side of the contract is going to close this contract out early or not. This is important because if the person closes out the contract early, you are going to be obligated to buy the shares at your current put price. So we can see my current put price is $120. The stock is trading at $87.53. I want to know how likely that the person on the other side of this contract is going to close this out early or not. If they're not going to close it out early, I most likely will just continue to monitor this trade and do nothing about it. If they are going to close it out early, I will most likely roll this option contract. So the question is, to roll or not to roll this option contract? Watch the video till the end so you know whether you should roll or whether you shouldn't roll your option contracts. This is important because this will allow you to make more money in the stock market if you have this skill in your back pocket. To know how likely or not the person on the other side of the contract is going to exercise it or is going to close it early on you, you simply need to calculate the extrinsic value and see if that extrinsic value that you calculate is greater than 10% of the current options contract price. We could see that the current option contract price in this example is $37.95. If you take your calculator and you type in 37.95 times 0.1, you get 3.79. So we're going to calculate the extrinsic value of this option contract and see if it is greater than 3.79. If it is greater than 3.79, then the person on the other side of this contract most likely is not going to close it early. If it is less than 3.79, then the person on the other side of this contract very well may close this option early. So let's calculate the extrinsic value. This is simply done. You simply need to calculate the intrinsic value, which to do that, you take the original options contract price, which in this example is $120, and you subtract that from the current stock price, which is $87.53. 120 minus $87.53 gives you $32.47. $32.47 is the intrinsic value. To calculate the extrinsic value, you simply take the current options contract price, which is $37.95, and you subtract that from the intrinsic value, which was $32.47. So $37.95 minus $32.47 gives you $5.48. Remember that 10% of the current options contract price was $3.79. So we can see that the extrinsic value that we have calculated is greater than $3.79 because it is $5.48. What this tells you, and why this is important for you, is it tells you that the person on the other side of this contract most likely is not going to close this options contract early. So what I would do with this is I would not roll it and I would just continue to monitor this contract. This is how you calculate the extrinsic value and why it is extremely important that you know how to do this. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment box. Remember to subscribe and like this video if it provided value for you. Thank you.